Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, which is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Dad can enjoy something really special that you can actually save on. We've got a code at the end of the podcast, and you can get Dad some meat for Father's Day.
I want
some. He does, yeah.
And it's funny that we're talking about Omaha Steaks to start this because the podcast is this today, the After the Show podcast. And Murphy, you have permission to pick on me about this. You cannot trust me with a steak. I cooked steaks the other night and almost ruined them. And he was nice. You were very nice about it because I'm sitting there going, I don't want to eat this.
Well, the thing is, Jodi.
And you ate every bite of yours.
I did because they were cooked with love.
Yeah.
With a lot of water.
They were cooked with ignorance.
No, what happened? So Jodi doesn't like steaks to have any pink in them, really, which to me is if you're going to eat a steak.
I don't mind a little pink.
Yeah, if you don't want pink, then you don't eat the steak.
Don't eat a steak.
Right, exactly.
That's another reason that you can't trust me with a steak is because I'm not the world's biggest steak person.
Yeah.
I've had some every once in a while that were great, and they are usually the filet.
Yeah, usually it's a filet.
Yeah,
it's just
it's like melts in your mouth.
Yeah. So, and for me, I don't eat it very often, so it's a real treat when I do have it. So it's really a shame
excited.
No.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm just kidding.
It's a shame we spent all that money and Jodi burnt them.
I'm going to tell you what I did wrong. I'm going to tell you what I did. And then, of course, today, after that happened, I was so disappointed. I started, looking up and reading, and there's a million ways. Everybody in the cooking world has a different way to do a steak. So I'll tell you what I did, but I know I did some things wrong.
Yeah, where did you cook them at?
I seared them in a cast iron,
okay,
and then I roasted in the oven.
And they are so good in a cast iron seared up like that.
I've learned some stuff.
If you don't overcook them.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
No, it's seriously.
So Father's Day's coming. Maybe I'll get you some raw steak, and you can do with it what you want. That is a good Father's Day gift idea. So what I did was, one mistake I made was I took it out of the packaging, and I didn't dry it. Apparently, you're supposed to pat it dry. It's not supposed to have a bunch of liquid in it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're supposed to pat it dry because that can interfere with the oil you're going to cook it in. And I knew to put oil. I knew to get the pan hot and put oil in the pan, and I did that. But that's not the way. You're supposed to put the oil on the steak. It's supposed to be on the steak and not the pan. And that's another mistake I made. This is me, Murphy. I cook all the time. I've been cooking since I was a kid.
Incredible cook, yeah.
So
I'm not just saying that. You
get
are a great
overconfident,
cook.
like that's just steak. It's the easiest thing in the world. Not true. You can always learn something, even in your most comfortable place. If you're comfortable in the kitchen, I messed up in a million different ways. You're not supposed to flip them a bunch of times if you're just searing them
just once.
Once, I didn't know that. I flipped it and looked at it. And
Maybe we
again.
should have had Sam come over and cook them.
The thing is about that, I would not beat myself up over that because, like on the grill, it's the same thing. Flip them once. Leave them on there for so many minutes, flip them once. I can't ever do that. I just got to keep, you flip them.
Can't stop messing
with it.
with it.
Again, and it's like, okay, Latin's getting long. And then you flip it again. I know you're not supposed to, but I do.
For me, as long as I understood, once I got used to a grill and its heat and a certain thickness of steak, I would only do the one flip. And I would know that, and I watched my clock. I mean, I was like diligent. Whatever, on the particular grill I had, it was 8 minutes with the certain thickness of the ribeye that I had. And I prefer ribeyes to fillets, believe it or not. They're more marbled. They taste better. Yeah, exactly. But when you flip them once, you can almost mimic, if you time it perfectly, you can almost mimic the way that a double broiler looks, where it fades into the pink. And I like medium. So I like medium. I don't really like medium well. I want it to be medium. If it errs to the side of anything, slightly what they call medium plus, somewhere in between. I don't like medium rare. Now, it's funny. Our oldest daughter, Taylor, she wants it rare. She loves it just like that. But for me, I like to have it cooked to that, that fade. And the only other, really my favorite steaks at the best steak restaurants wind up being cooked in those double broilers where it's just cooked to perfection with the butter, which I guess maybe does the crisp on the outside.
Well, they don't do the butter till the end. That's another thing I was reading. You can't because butter can burn. So you can't do the butter until the end. You do the butter in the end, but you're supposed to do
spoon it.
Yes, you're supposed to do it in the pan at the end. I didn't do that. I just did it on top. You were there. I was like, okay, it's time. Put some butter on top and let's eat. That was another mistake because I've been reading that you're supposed to let it sit for a little while for the juices to do what they do before cutting into it. You're supposed to wait 5 to 10 minutes before slicing into a steak.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes at a restaurant, I don't know if they wait 5 or 10 minutes. It comes from the kitchen straight to you.
Well,
It's
at certain restaurants, they'll tell you, please cut into your steak. Let's make sure it's cooked the way you want it to be.
Oh.
But it's really easy to get out of practice with that because I have not grilled in quite some time, as you know. I actually downsized my grill to just a little tabletop one because I just don't do it that often anymore. And so when you get out of practice, it's very easy to mess it up. And I don't want to mess up something that was expensive to buy in the first place.
Well, I will.
And so when I was doing that regularly, I got used to it, but when you're out of practice with it, it's very easy to misjudge. But I really like the cast iron.
Yeah,
is just different. I'm assuming you could also do it though without actually having to stick it in the oven and bake it.
That's
the rest
what I
of the
did
way.
wrong. I mean, one of the things I shouldn't have done. I thought I would do the sear it on the outside thing to give it that nice little crust and crispiness on the outside, and then roast it in the oven at a low temp. It was like 300, but if I was going to do that at all, I should have just put the butter on it and put it in there for just a couple of minutes and taken it right out. Even can do garlic that way with it, which really, the steak can really adopt that flavor. I didn't do that. I left it in there. I thought I'm going to cook it a little bit in the oven. Which is why I overcooked it. I should have just seared it and stuck it in there for a quick little zap. But I left it. And then I made our salads and called you in. And so you like it medium rare or whatever you said. What would you say last night?
I like it medium.
You like it medium. What was last night?
What was last night?
Remember, kids are listening.
What would you call it?
What would I call it?
Yeah.
I don't know, leather? No, I'm kidding.
I really feel bad about it.
It was very well done. I mean, it was
not good.
I know. And I didn't say a word, did I? I didn't say anything about that.
It's okay.
Jody was the one that's like, I overdid these.
I hate that
And
so
I'm like,
much because
really, I can't tell at all, Jody.
it should have been fantastic. It should have been fantastic. The reason also is when you're a good cook, you are good at the things that you enjoy eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not that big of a steak person, but the next time we get them, I'm going to do.
Or if you start cooking a lot of steaks, you'll get it down, like Murphy said. Once you get the practice down. I've seen like some of these cooking shows, these chefs, and I'm always jealous of this. They don't use a thermometer. It's just like they can tell by pushing it.
Right.
That's amazing
And
to
it's
me.
like, okay, it's well done now, or it's about medium, couple more minutes, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And I try it outside. I do it, and it's like, okay, it's still squishy. Which one's this?
I will say the way that I do want to try a steak next time, because I do believe you can't get it wrong, and it's always so incredible from everybody. We've eaten them before at friends' houses, sous vide.
Yeah.
That's how I want to do steaks next time, because you can't, right? Unless you leave the house and go to the store, you can't miss that either.
I guess anything can be overcooked, but sous vide is something that's special and very different. It's very tender. You have to want it that way. You have to be okay with not having the seared outside you're right, exactly. If that's the the piece that you crave, sous vide's not going to scratch that itch for you.
No,
but man, is it tender and good when it's done.
Melt in your mouth thing.
You can cook it sous vide, and I've seen people take it out. Once they're done the sous vide, they'll throw it in that griddle or on the grill.
Right.
Oh, and crisp it up like
to get
that?
a quick crisp. Won't affect the inside. It'll just get you crisp on the outside.
Okay.
Well, what I'm also reading is season it and rub the oil on the steak, then put it in a hot, ready-to-do pan when you're going to sear. And I did the opposite. I put the oil in the pan when it was hot. I waited till it was hot, and I put the oil in the pan, put the steak down, and went, and then I seasoned. So I did it all wrong.
I know.
I
bet when you heard that, you were like, "Yeah, this is going to be good."
You can get our perfect steak recipe, steak marinade recipe if you like to marinate your meat for whatever reason, even if it's just like for fajitas or something like that.
Yeah, you can try that.
Steak marinade is at our Cool Summer Eats collection of recipes at murphysamandjodi.com. And sorry again, Murph.
It was great.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.